over time, this reliance on the virtual world can lead to a decline in social skills.
Right.
And a fear of intimacy.
And this isolation can, in turn, worsen the addiction.
Totally.
As individuals become more reliant on pornography,
Right?
to cope with loneliness and emotional distress.
It becomes this self-perpetuating cycle.
Right.
The more isolated they feel, the more they turn to pornography, which leads to even greater isolation.
It's a trap that can be very difficult to break free from.
It is.
So what can be done to kind of,
Yeah.
break that cycle?
Well, he really emphasizes the importance of re-engaging with the real world. This might involve joining a club, volunteering in the community, taking a class, or simply making more of an effort to spend time with loved ones.
He's basically saying that we need to replace those virtual connections with those real human interactions.
Exactly. It's about cultivating those genuine relationships that provide that sense of belonging and support.
Right.
Helping individuals move away from that isolating nature of pornography addiction.
And this brings us to another really important topic.
Yeah.
Which is the impact of pornography on our understanding of intimacy and relationships. And he argues that the distorted representations of sex and relationships, often found in pornography, can negatively influence how individuals perceive and approach intimacy in real life.
He's concerned that the constant exposure to these idealized and often unrealistic portrayals of sex can create unrealistic expectations, and make it difficult to experience satisfaction in real-life relationships.
It's like trying to live up to the airbrushed perfection of a magazine cover.
Exactly. So, he's not suggesting that we should all abstain from pornography.
Right.
But he is advocating for a more critical and mindful approach to consuming this type of content.
So how do we develop that more critical and mindful approach to pornography consumption?
Well, he suggests educating ourselves about healthy sexuality and relationships from credible sources that provide accurate and realistic information, you know? It's about learning to distinguish between fantasy and reality, and developing a more nuanced understanding of what constitutes healthy intimacy.
And he also emphasizes the importance of open and honest communication with partners.
Yes.
About our needs, our desires, and our boundaries.
This open dialogue can really help prevent those misunderstandings and address potential issues before they escalate.
Right.
It's about creating that safe and supportive space where both partners feel comfortable expressing themselves and working together to build that healthy and fulfilling relationship.
Now let's delve into kind of a fascinating concept that he introduces, which is the pornography brain.
Okay.
And he explains that frequent exposure to pornography can actually rewire the brain.
Right.
Leading to changes in neural pathways associated with reward, motivation, and impulse control.
He draws this really interesting parallel to the way that drug addiction alters brain chemistry. That constant dopamine rush associated with pornography consumption can make the brain less responsive to other forms of pleasure and reward, making it increasingly difficult to find satisfaction in those everyday activities.
So it's not just a psychological addiction. It's a physical one as well.
Exactly. And this explains why it can be so difficult to break free from pornography addiction. It's not simply a matter of willpower. The brain has literally been rewired to crave those dopamine hits.
And he cites research suggesting that excessive pornography use can even impair cognitive function, affecting attention span, memory, and decision-making abilities.
Yeah, that constant stimulation and novelty seeking associated with pornography can overload the brain's reward system, leading to that decrease in overall cognitive performance. It's like the brain becomes so accustomed to that constant stream of stimulation that it struggles to focus on anything else.
And then there's the impact on emotional regulation. He points out that individuals struggling with this addiction may experience heightened anxiety, depression, mood swings.
And the shame and guilt associated with the addiction can also exacerbate these emotional issues. Creating this vicious cycle that can be incredibly difficult to break. It's as if the addiction itself becomes the source of stress and emotional turmoil.
And he emphasizes the need to address these underlying emotional issues as part of the recovery process.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's not just about stopping the behavior.
Right.
It's about understanding the root causes and developing those healthier coping mechanisms.
Exactly. Therapy can play such a crucial role in helping individuals explore those deeper emotional needs and develop those more constructive ways of meeting them.
Right.
It's about addressing that underlying pain and finding those healthier sources of comfort and connection.
So he then shifts his focus to the broader societal implications of this widespread pornography consumption.
Okay.
And expresses concern that the normalization of pornography can contribute to the objectification and exploitation of women.
Yeah.
Reinforcing those harmful gender stereotypes and power dynamics.
He's concerned that the pervasive nature of pornography, especially in the digital age, is shaping our collective understanding of sexuality in ways that are detrimental to women and to society as a whole.
He points out that pornography often portrays women in submissive and demeaning roles, perpetuating the idea that women are primarily objects of male pleasure.
And this can have a ripple effect on our attitudes and behaviors.
Right.
Normalizing the objectification of women and making it easier to dismiss or minimize instances of harassment or abuse.
And he stresses the need to challenge these harmful representations and promote a more respectful and equitable view of women.
It's about recognizing that link between the images we consume and the values that we uphold as a society, right? If we want to create a world where women are treated with dignity and respect, we need to be more critical of the messages that we're internalizing through media and entertainment.
He also expresses concern about the impact of pornography on the development of young people, arguing that early exposure can skew their perceptions of sex and relationships, leading to those unrealistic expectations and potentially harmful behaviors.
He's not saying that every young person who watches pornography is going to develop unhealthy attitudes or engage in harmful behaviors, but he is suggesting that it can create a lot of confusion and set those unrealistic expectations, especially for those who are still developing their sense of self and their understanding of healthy relationships.
And he advocates for age-appropriate sex education.
Yeah.
That provides that accurate and comprehensive information about sexuality, relationships, and consent.
It's about equipping young people with the knowledge and the skills to make those informed decisions about their sexual health and to navigate the complexities of relationships in a safe and responsible manner.
He also emphasizes the importance of open and honest conversations with young people about pornography.
Absolutely.
It's about addressing the potential risks and harms while promoting respect, consent, and those healthy relationships.
Right, and he believes that parents and educators have this crucial role to play in guiding young people towards healthy media consumption and fostering that open dialogue about these important issues.
It's about creating that safe and supportive environment where young people can explore these topics without shame or fear of judgment and where they feel empowered to make those healthy choices.
Absolutely.
But let's be realistic. In today's digital world, it's nearly impossible to shield young people from encountering pornography online.
Right.
So what's the solution?
Well, he acknowledges this challenge and emphasizes the need for a multifaceted approach, It's not just about blocking access, it's about education, open communication, and empowering young people to make those responsible choices.
And he also advocates for policies that hold pornography producers and distributors accountable for the content that they create and disseminate.
Right. He's arguing that we need to hold the industry accountable for the messages that it's sending, especially to young and impressionable viewers.
He believes that we need to strike a balance between protecting freedom of expression and safeguarding the well-being of individuals and society as a whole.
Yeah, it's about recognizing that the widespread availability of pornography, particularly that violent and degrading content, can have serious consequences for individuals and for society as a whole.
So let's shift our focus now to the strategies that he outlines for preventing and overcoming pornography addiction. And he starts by emphasizing the importance of prevention. Particularly for young people who are more vulnerable to the allure of pornography.
He's a strong advocate for those comprehensive sex education programs that go beyond the basics of biology and reproduction, He believes that young people need accurate and age-appropriate information about sexuality, relationships, and the potential risks associated with pornography.
It's about providing them with the knowledge and skills to make those informed decisions about their media consumption and their sexual health.
Absolutely. They need accurate information about sex and relationships, not just what they might be picking up from pornography.
Exactly. And he also highlights the importance of open and honest conversations about pornography with young people. Parents, educators, and other trusted adults need to create that safe and supportive environment where young people can ask questions, express their concerns, and learn about healthy sexuality without shame or judgment.
That open dialogue can help counter the messages that young people might be receiving from pornography.
Right.
And equip them with the tools and information they need to make those responsible choices.
But when it comes to individuals who are already struggling with pornography addiction, he strongly emphasizes the importance of seeking professional help.
Yes.
He recommends finding a therapist who specializes in addiction and sexual health.
Therapy can provide individuals with the tools and support they need to manage cravings, to address those underlying emotional issues, and to develop those healthier coping mechanisms.
He also highlights the benefits of joining support groups,
Yeah.
where individuals can connect with others who understand their struggles and share strategies for recovery.
He believes that building that sense of community and accountability can be incredibly empowering for individuals on that journey to recovery.
It's a reminder that they're not alone in this fight.
Right.
And that recovery is possible.
Now, in addition to therapy and support groups, he also offers some practical tips for managing triggers and urges.
Oh, okay.
He suggests identifying situations or emotions that tend to trigger pornography use and developing strategies to avoid or cope with them.
This might involve limiting exposure to triggering content, finding those alternative activities to engage in, or practicing mindfulness techniques to manage those cravings.
He also encourages individuals to create a supportive environment that minimizes temptation. So this might involve installing internet filters, removing triggering materials from the home, or seeking accountability from trusted friends or family members.
Essentially, he's saying that willpower alone isn't always enough.
Sometimes you need to make those changes to your environment to make it easier to resist those urges.
And he stresses the importance of developing healthy habits.
Absolutely.
That support recovery.
Right.
So this might include engaging in regular exercise, prioritizing sleep, eating a balanced diet, pursuing hobbies and activities that bring joy and fulfillment.
It's about building that fulfilling life that doesn't revolve around pornography.
Right.
When you're filling your days with those positive experiences and connections, the urge to escape into that virtual world becomes less powerful.
And he encourages individuals to be patient with themselves. Recovery is a journey, not a destination.
It is.
There will be bumps in the road.
There will be.
He emphasizes the importance of self-compassion and resilience.
Yeah.
It's about celebrating those small victories, learning from setbacks, and never giving up on yourself.
And, he shares some really inspiring stories of individuals who have successfully overcome pornography addiction, demonstrating that recovery is possible with the right support and commitment.
He emphasizes that while the journey may be challenging, the rewards of breaking free from pornography addiction are immeasurable.
Yeah.
Individuals in recovery often report improvements in their relationships,
Yes.
their mental health, their self-esteem, and their overall well-being.
It's a reminder that there is that hope for healing and that a brighter future is possible.
And he concludes by reiterating the importance of seeking help.
Yeah.
And not suffering in silence.
Right.
He reminds listeners that pornography addiction is a treatable condition and that there are resources available to support individuals on their journey to recovery.
He encourages individuals to reach out to mental health professionals, support groups, or trusted loved ones for help.
Right.
Breaking free from pornography addiction is possible, and seeking support is a sign of strength, not weakness.
His insights provide this valuable roadmap.